this guitar lesson, I'll show you how to play the traditional song called Banks of the Ohio. This is a great song to practice cross-picking. I've put together two different cross-picking arrangements. The first arrangement, we'll play it at a lower pitch octave down here. And then the second arrangement, we'll start working up the neck a little bit, and it'll sound something like this. So let's go ahead and get started here. We're going to work on the lower pitched arrangement first, and later in the lesson I'll show you the higher pitched arrangement. And don't forget that you can download the guitar tablature for both of these arrangements here at countryguitaronline.com right below the video player. Here's the tablature for the lower pitched arrangement. Let me play through this first line and then I'll break it down for you. So the first measure is a pickup measure. We've got 3 pickup notes that will lead us into the main melody that starts in the second measure. And for this pickup measure, we're going to go ahead and form a C/G chord with our fretting hand. And if you're not familiar with a C/G, all you got to do, let's start out with a regular C major chord like that. And to get to the C/G, just shift your left ring finger to the 6th string. And then put your pinky right where your ring finger was on the 5th string. And that's the C/G. You can let all 6 strings ring out. Real nice chord. So we're going to press this chord down at the very beginning, that pickup measure, and we'll keep holding this chord down all the way through the 3rd measure, about halfway through that 3rd measure. So the pickup measure, we've got 3 downstrokes, 3 quarter notes. And for that 3rd pickup note, that open string, we're going to have to lift up our middle finger of our fretting hand, but then we'll hammer down that middle finger into the C/G right in that 2nd measure. So let's learn measures 2 and 3 right now. Here we go, measure 2. Into that 3rd measure. So you can see that we're kind of doing this cross-picking pattern over the C/G chord. This is a forward roll cross-picking pattern. It's forward roll. And we're basically just playing the 4th string, then the 3rd string, and 2nd string. Just over and over again. 4, 3, 2, 4, 3, 2, 4, 3, 2, 4, 3, 2. And keep an eye on the pick stroke direction too. We're using alternate picking. Down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. And this is the picking pattern that we're going to use for a lot of this cross picking, you know, that alternate picking. And if you're not used to it, you'll see that we've got to kind of cross over a string to keep that pattern going. But once you get it down, it sounds really nice. So anyways, measure 2, it's all 8th notes. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, so that's measure 2. Then in measure 3, you'll finish out that cross-picking pattern, the beginning of measure 3, those 2 eighth notes. But then you've got 3 quarter notes, 3 down picks. And for those 3 quarter notes, those 3 down picks in measure 3, at the end of measure 3, for the fretting hand, I like to do that first note is still part of that C/G chord, held down. But then the next note, I use my middle, and then I use my ring finger when I go back to that 3rd fret. I just think it feels more natural to me that way. So. Pinky, middle, ring. So up to this point, we've got measures 1 through 3. Pause the video if you want to work on that some. Now let's work on measures 4 and 5. Measure 4, we're doing the same forward roll pattern over the G chord, but we really don't have to hold anything down with our fretting hand for measure 4. Pulling in all those open strings, part of the G major chord. But at the end of measure 4, we'll go to the pointer finger there, which then hammer into the middle finger, the beginning of measure 5. So let's learn measures 4 and 5 together. And then at the end of measure 5, you see we just got those 2 quarter notes. I use my middle finger there for that last one. So let's play this line one more time, take a good listen, and then we'll move on to the next line. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. So that's the first line right there. If you need help with the pick stroke direction, make sure you check out those pick stroke direction symbols right above the tablature. So let's go ahead and learn measures 6 through 9, the next line of the tablature. Sounds like this. Okay, let's learn measure 6 first. For measure 6, you just have to press down your ring finger right there, 4th string, 3rd fret. And what that's doing is pulling in some of the G7 chord sound. And we'll do this pattern right here. 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and then measure 7. It's just 4 downstrokes. It's 4 quarter notes right there. And when you're ready, let's learn measures 8 and 9. measure 8, we've switched to this C major chord, and we're really just forming a partial C major chord, kind of that top end of the C major chord. I'm not pressing down my ring finger to play the full C major, just the pointer in the middle. So measure 8, it's all eighth notes, and we've got a pull off near the end of measure 8. So check this out right here. And after I do that pull off, I'm still holding down my pointer finger for a couple different reasons. One of the reasons is because it still lets that pointer finger note that we hit earlier, lets that note ring out and create a nice overtone to smooth it out. The other reason is because we're about to use the pointer finger again later on, as we switch back to this full C major chord here in a measure or two. So measure 8, and then measure 9 right here. For measure 9, I actually do press down the full C major chord right at the beginning of it. And it's just 4 downstrokes in measure 9. It's 4 quarter notes. So let's play this line one more time, take a good listen, and then we'll move on to the next line. Here we go, measure 6. All right, we're almost done. Let's move on to the next line. We've got measures 10 through 13. Sounds like this.